It's a pleasure to be here. Ms. Garcia represents the college in the assembly, but in her absence, I'm gonna try to offer to be the host, given that I attended this community college for 2 years in the late 80s. I had my wallet stolen over there. Fond memories. That doesn't happen anymore, right, Dr. Fiera? Never happens anymore. But a lot has changed, not only for me since the late 80s, but obviously for early childhood education. If you look at the folks assembled here on the stage in front of you, you see someone like Blanca Rubio, who spent a tremendous amount of time in the classroom. You see someone like Kevin McCarty, my colleague from Sacramento, who was just three short years ago advocating for early childhood education funding in Sacramento. It's actually how I met Kevin for the first time. I got my start in politics because I was running a nonprofit less than 5 miles from here, whose funding had essentially been cut in half. It was an early childhood education organization that funded mostly early Head Start, Head Start, state preschool, and infants and toddlers. And for me, the Blue Ribbon Commission is really an opportunity for those of us, the folks here assembled here, but also our colleagues in the Senate who deserve some credit sometimes, like Holly Mitchell, for example, who preceded me in politics and who I met at a rally on early childhood education, probably in the early 90s. The Blue Ribbon Commission is again an opportunity for us to talk to different communities throughout the state. It's an opportunity for us to hear from different communities throughout the state and to really get a sense of how you, the people of California, how you sort of contextualize early childhood education, not only within your communities, not only within the various settings in which you work and interact with our communities, but also the extent to which you think early childhood education should be placed within the broader context of California politics. 2 years ago, we were very proud as a legislature to allocate in excess of $500 million for early childhood education as a state. For us, that was an important first step toward prioritizing early childhood education. But it's only I think it's short-sighted to not remember that we cut about $1.2 billion in early childhood education funding as a state in the decade prior to that. So these efforts are really an attempt to reposition early childhood education on the agenda for the state of California. Also an attempt to remind all of us to be vigilant and to remember that all of our accomplishments over the past few years in early childhood education can be short-lived if we're not vigilant. So I thank you for being here. I thank my colleagues for being here, and I'm looking forward to learning from this dialogue.